Hey, all, just sharing some of the latest updates on our safety workspace for within Saphira. So we have a few updates in the write and check requirements activity. We have a few updates in these other activities that have been emerging, and finally in the safety case construction workflow. So let's go through some of these. So to begin with, we've resolved the bug where now you can actually type in and blah, 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 here, so it doesn't re-render and cause some issues. We also have a magic wand button that will generate some requirements based on the classic AutoSAR examples here. So you can always use that. We go through classification and we provide you back the same information. And you get some recommendations on how to align the best with the level that you've provided, as well as if you decide to change it to a different level, you get additional feedback on how to make this into a requirement at a different level. For example, transitioning this one into a stakeholder requirement. So that's something you can apply. Now we run some in-code quality checks and bring you back the same details as before. So that is all good. Yep. We say, okay, hey, this one's actually really good. Here's where you are in terms of single need. It is atomic. It's clear and interpreted in only one way, et cetera, et cetera. And we do provide a rewrite if needed. This just simplifies this a little bit, but you don't need to adopt it if you don't want. Okay, so we have the decomposition. This is still a bit funky, but usually it comes back if you come back to the screen later. But it's not super important, so we'll come back to this one later. Tracing conflicts and export, all good. And as a reminder, you can save all the requirements by just hitting save, but we're not going to do that today. So that's one activity. Extract requirements. So this is a whole workflow where you can, once you've gone through some of that initial requirement, if you want to capture more data, you can click in here and actually upload a PDF that we extract data from. So this can be anything from a standard, it can be an internal specification, whatever else. And we support documents beyond PDFs. So if you have specific other requests, such as spreadsheets, PowerPoints, all of that, we can support it. Just let us know and we'll make sure it gets enabled in your project. Okay, some other items, run FMEA and HARA now allows you to select the correct item. So that one's already defaulted here. We changed that. And obviously it comes up first as default child component that you can swap it into the FMEA mode. You can see a bunch of new FMEA types we introduced with new types of fields, like some of these like loss type and all that for different customers we're working with. And this generated VMV plan also does a correct thing now. So because we'd already selected a temp one, it went all the way here. So I'm gonna hit back just so we exit this. Okay, to close things out, let's look at the GSN safety case. So you can see a bunch of new things here. You see, for example, the ability to upload evidence document, the sense of going to your project documents, and it lets you add more details into what's present here. Let's use our classic hacking methodology to populate this this wizard. And you can see the adaptive headline control system AutoSAR example again. You can see that a lot of these have been generalized. You can use any requirements manager, any document manager, any issue tracker, et cetera, et cetera. And we can scroll all the way to the end. You get some conflict reports along the way, confidence arguments. You can see now that we aren't asking weird questions like, tell us the actual safety goals at the very end of building up your safety case. So that all happens at the beginning now. We've reordered some questions appropriately. You can always mark things as NA. But we can scroll through these last few and go to the generate GSN view. And there's some nice things here now. So you have the root goals, strategies, solutions. So not only can you see this in the classic Saphira trace graph and in YAML, which you might have to hit regenerate for, but you can also view an actual diagram here. So it shows up in a couple different places. There's some supporting elements that come up here. There's the full breakdown here. You can see that it's sequential as compared to the common examples. So we're working on getting that to show up in different ways. But hopefully this gives you a sense of how this can show up to begin with. So let's get out of here and actually I'll just hit cancel and we'll see some of the last items, which are, if we go back over to the evidence table, you can see that it auto selects one of the views now. And then if you select into any of these other modes, you filter down into just the versions that you want. So FMEA will just show FMEA items, and then requirements will just show requirement items. So it currently filters for, I think, requirements, but you may need to select your particular type. So that might be blank.